Ask and you shall receive. The video from yesterday did definitely blow up. Lots of comments, lots of engagement. Definitely happy about that. Errol Spence Jr., Terence Bud Crawford, Saturday, July 29th. I provided my final prediction, got a good conversation going, but I want to take the opportunity to answer a really good question that I got. I'm going to put it up on the screen, read it off real quick, and then, provide my response. This is from, I'm not even going to get into that. Shout out to you, guy or gal. It says, at JG, I asked a question a good while ago on a pro Spence platform. Why do Spence fans talk as if this is such a great fight and will be an all-time classic? It's 50-50. They're super fans of both guys and either guy can win. But then in the next breath say, Bud hasn't fought nobody. His resume is trash. Best win was Little Low Gamboa. Got rocked by little guys. Was getting beaten up by one-legged fighters. Got his eye took in 4 rounds. How can we have both? This is your boy JG. This is the Punch Report. I'm going to break it down. Let's go. So I'm going to leave it up on the screen for a while so you guys can have an opportunity to look at that. This is the Punch Report. Let's just get into it. So the first thing that I would say is this. Anytime I see something that says pro Spence platform or pro Crawford platform, the one thing you have to consider at that point is it's going to be very difficult to get reliable, kind of unbiased analysis, whether you're talking about what happens inside the square circle or you're talking about the intangible items. It's going to be difficult to get that. If you can identify it's a pro X fighter platform, then you kind of have to move away from that, to be fair. Moving on, you're talking about a scenario where initially fight fans claim to be excited about the Bud Crawford Errol Spence fight. Fight fans claim to say both guys have an opportunity to get it done. And then because you're operating in a space that's pro Spence, then they have to shit on Terence Crawford. One of the things that this fight has not taught me, but kind of reignited in me from an observer's perspective is boxing fans are extremely, extremely emotional, territorial, borderline tribal when it comes to fighters they really believe in. If this is something you don't believe, you can come to my channel, you can go to bigger channels than mine, and just start combing through the comment sections and see how adversarial individuals treat each other when it comes to a sport that they don't know the fighters. They're not probably going to know the fighters, and outside of betting have little to nothing on the line, but treat this as if Errol Spence Jr. loses, I'm going to punch him in the face. If Bud Crawford takes his L, I'm going to flip a car over. That is what you get in the sport of boxing. I think the dynamic that's unique between Errol Spence Jr. fans and Bud Crawford fans is this. Errol Spence Jr. fans really model the behavior that he models. He's very cool, he's very calm, he's very collected. I have very few people come to my channel that are Spence fans that dog me, talk shit, call me names, disrespect. Bud Crawford's a little more edgy. The lead up to this fight has demonstrated that. He has been a little more off-put, reserved in his demeanor, not as relaxed. Some would say sharp or focused. I would say slightly agitated, possibly even exhibiting some nervous energy. That's up for interpretation. But when I think about Bud Crawford fans, they come into the comment section and they destroy me on a regular basis, which is fine. It's why I think they're a great fan base. As long as they're realistic and honest, I don't have an issue with that. But there are very differing fan bases that I think model the behavior of the fighter that they admire. When I think about Errol Spence Jr. fans switching up, I think it's wanting to be in a space where I'm supportive of my guy, but I also know Bud Crawford's a really, really phenomenal fighter. But as soon as you start saying, man, I don't think Errol's shit, which a lot of Bud fans tend to do, their natural response is to, now let's be overly critical of resumes and who did he fight and who did he beat and this, that, and the third. So I can totally see a dynamic where the conversation seems neutral, fun, engaging. People are having spirited debate, and it quickly devolves into Bud Crawford ain't shit. Who has he fought? His resume sucks. Errol Spence Jr. is going to walk through him. Ultimately, at the end of the day, a lot of these things mean very little. I can't fight for Bud. I can't fight for Errol. When I say legitimately, I've covered both these fighters for an extended period. I've actually covered and known Bud and Bud's career a little longer than Errol's, but watch Errol grow up in front of my eyes as a fighter. And I respect the hell out of both of them. If you watch any videos on my channel, I really do try to do my best to be as impartial as humanly possible, but you got to pick a winner, you got to pick a loser. And the fun part of what I do here on my channel is I try to give you the reasons why and be very precise in my predictions. Anybody can come and say, I think Bud Crawford wins by knockout. Okay, great. How? How does he get to the knockout position? What's your round range? Hey, I think Errol Spence Jr. is much too much for Bud Crawford, and I think he's going to do X, Y, and Z. Okay, how is he going to get that done? How is he in a position to be successful? How is he going to wear down Bud Crawford and eventually stop him? I try to be very, very precise in those predictions. Boxing fans are emotional. That's the short answer to the question. Boxing fans are extremely emotional. At times, it's trying, but it can make the sport fun. I think we've done a great job here on this channel of building a community of boxing fans that can have discourse that's not nasty. But you can get that out there, and some people enjoy that. Some people enjoy the back and forth. I just like talking about boxing. You know, I don't get a lot of predictions wrong, but, you know, I'm going to get one wrong eventually. But I think that's a great question. I think it's a fair question. And I think it's a switch up from feeling confident and comfortable in your prediction and then having the fighter that you enjoy questioned and then having to defend that with talking points that you know currently exist about one Terence Bud Crawford. I hope I was able to answer your question. This is your boy JG. This is the Punch Report. I've made my final prediction. I've broken this fight down 19 million different ways. If you have questions, let me know. The comment sections are filling up very quickly, and I'll get to as many questions as I can as we lead up to the fight. I think this is great because it gives me an opportunity to evaluate things from a perspective that's uniquely not mine, and then try to provide insights thereafter. This is your boy JG. This is the Punch Report. We out.